It's fine, sweetie.
What up? It is It's Fine, Sweetie, a podcast hosted by me.
And me.
And me. Good day to you.
It is the after Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Turkey.
how was Thanksgiving for you all?
Thanksgiving was kind of low key for me this year. I got to
Good.
see you, before Thanksgiving, so that's always a blessing. And then just went to the in-laws' house on actual Thanksgiving, and then mom's house after, and didn't stay very long. And there was no time constraints, which was nice because when you have a blended family, that's usually you're running trying to get the kids places. And it's very
Yeah.
low key. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. What about you guys?
I met a friend and we went on a dinner cruise out of Long Beach, California. My very first time experiencing that.
Yeah. What is a dinner cruise, guys? Is it
Um,
exactly what it sounds like?
Yeah, basically you get on, it's like a 2.5 hour cruise. You get on, you leave the dock, and you just kind of drift in the Pacific Ocean while they're playing music and they're serving food. It was a good experience, but I'd probably never do it again. I have motion sickness.
Oh, that's
So-
not why I
Yeah.
wouldn't do it. My
Okay.
immediate thought was like, how the fuck do I escape if it's a bad date? I'm stuck, bro.
Oh,
Like, I'm
well,
with
yeah,
you,
but it wasn't a date, thank God.
Oh, okay.
I don't recommend doing it with a date, especially if it's like a first date. I don't think you should do that because you are stuck for 2.5 hours. And then if you guys drove together, you have that time too. So
Mm.
this was
I'm
a friend,
Ubering.
thank God.
Uh,
So
no.
I did not have any of that experience where I was like, oh my God, I need an escape hatch. But no, I did get a little sick.
I'm sorry about your emotions.
It's okay. I took a Dramamine, but apparently it wasn't enough.
That's not enough. Uber should have Uber for boat.
Yeah, it's like a Coast Guard just comes out and scoops you. Yeah, and it's get on the back of here, girl. We got you. You're just like, gotta call for my friends with a boat.
Yeah,
And you have to talk to the captain. The captain's like, bitch, I'm not stopping. I have a strict schedule.
swim.
Yeah, more than likely you'd have to be like Tom Cruise, like jumping off and like
There's
some
there's a lot of
tricks.
holes.
And
in
then
that
you'd have to
idea.
then if you land in the water, you gotta swim over.
Doggy
It's like
paddle
the-
over there.
Yeah, it's like all I can think about is the end of the first season of White Lotus or second season of White Lotus. And yeah, that sounds terrible.
I'll have to go watch that too. That's a deep cut.
Have you seen it, Dre? Do you know what I'm talking about?
The second season?
Of White
seen all
Lotus?
three. Oh. Yeah, the second season, wasn't that the one with
Jennifer
Aubrey Plaza?
Coolidge, where she's like
where
running
she, like,
from.
the gays are-
Is it in Spain with Aubrey Plaza? That's
I don't
second
remember
season?
what country. I just know like it ends with the homie or is it the first season where it ends with the homie falling off a boat?
That's the second season.
Yeah.
And she's
And
like,
you're like,
the gays,
damn.
these gays are trying to kill me. And in fact,
Yeah.
the gays did kill her.
Yeah, but it wasn't the way that they had hoped. Not as clean. Anyway,
So you enjoyed the cruise, but just motion sickness?
yeah, I enjoyed the cruise. I mean, I enjoyed doing something different, but yeah, I think that I'm limited to be a land girly.
Dweller.
Yeah.
You
And
landed.
also, it probably didn't help that, like, Long Beach is a good drive for me. So it's like the drive plus the boat plus the drive.
LBC.
Yeah, I was really happy that I did not have my children. So I just came home and laid down,
Do you not take public transport?
to Long Beach. I think that, how like in Oklahoma, well, Oklahoma is way worse because of that time that I didn't have a car. It was pretty terrible.
Everything
But,
smells like pee in Oklahoma.
Yeah, no, I mean, sometimes it depends on the time of day and which trains you're going to get on because they can get kind of dangerous and stinky. And then it doesn't save you time. Like it used to save time when I used to get on the GO line to go downtown, but then they don't even call it the GO line anymore. But yeah, like as I was driving by yesterday, I think there was a man on the train tracks that was like doing dances. So it was like he's obviously having some kind of psychotic break. Like it was so, but like there's always people like that, and no, there's no structure.
A lot of people really love drugs.
Yeah, I think that that's the thing too. Is like is you can't really tell the difference between drug use and like people just
The people who should be on medication.
some kind of medication.
Yeah.
At the risk of a friend watching this, I was thinking about this because she was describing some symptoms that seemed like it would make it really hard to function in the world. Like that might have to do with perimenopause, it might have to do with other things, who knows. And her primary doctor was suggesting Wellbutrin, and she was like, no. And then her primary doctor was also suggesting medication for cholesterol, and she said no, because her reasoning is she doesn't want to be on a drug and then have to take another drug to counteract the side effects from the first drug.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it does.
I mean, if
like,
you're going to take one, why wouldn't you?
I mean, I don't know, because I've been on an antidepressant for quite a while, and I hadn't been prescribed additional medications because of my first medication.
But well,
don't
I
know.
also think that people will find an excuse not to have to take something for their mental health
Yeah.
because it sounds bad, but
Do people look down
I
on
love
me?
it. Oh yeah, of course, especially if they're black.
Really?
Oh, look at that little tiny person's head.
I was so happy about my diagnosis. I tell anybody.
No, and especially like a lot of black people feel like any sort of mental illness is some sort of failure
Weakness.
in having to take something, and then there's that whole medical trauma and not wanting to believe there's thing.
I mean, valid, I guess. Hey, how was your thing?
It was fine.
Hi, baby.
Wait.
Tree. We all gave in-depth reviews of our Thanksgiving
Well,
experience.
I ordered cowboy chicken. I went and picked it
Do
up.
you not cook?
Not for Thanksgiving. It doesn't make sense for two people. You end up buying so much and spending so much money.
You can always bring me your leftovers.
Yeah, that's true. So now I don't cook, and then I don't want to do that many dishes, and it's just bullshit.
You're gonna be the rich auntie.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think she's already there.
You're already there?
No,
Yeah.
I'm just the.
Remember how
Julie,
Nick
and
was
my
like
kids, Auntie.
dink?
Yeah.
Remember how Nick was the rich? I mean, I think he still is the rich one. And he's
Oh,
just
for
like,
sure. That boy is getting.
He's like, I have no money. And you're like, sure. He's like, I just bought this really expensive in cash. Money. And you're like, right. I feel like your definition of no money is different from my definition.
is $100,000.
Yeah, he's like, my bank account is down to the mere $10,000. Anyway, just kidding. But yeah, no, yeah. So I think Dree is gonna be the rich auntie. People are just like,
And I know I said this before, but you have such pretty eyes. Why are your eyes lighter than the rest of ours?
Who's
You.
mine?
Yeah.
My eyes are lighter than the rest of you. I'm just really close to a lamp.
So am I.
no, I'm pretty sure mine
Maybe
are pretty
your
much
eyes are
black.
just darker than everybody else.
Let me see
Mine
your
are
eyes.
pretty much black. Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
which I'm
Oh,
proud
mine
of.
are
I think
brown
that
in the sun.
it's kind
You
of
have honey brown eyes.
Gigi has honey brown eyes.
No, I love Gigi.
I know. I went over
She
there
said
today and she
sweet.
was running around. I said, "Girl, put on some clothes," and she just laughed. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's sensory issue, but none of these kids like having clothes on.
Ain't no pants.
Ain't no pants, friend.
Yeah. Aw. Okay, so yeah. Speaking of Oklahoma,
I looked it up.
Yeah, so I was there this last week and I did my fingerprints to try to renew my teaching credential because I thought maybe I might want to apply for this online job that required an Oklahoma teaching credential, but I don't really know. I mean, it basically pays minimum wage.
$7.50.
Like, oh, minimum wage in California,
Oh,
$20 an
so
hour.
I was about to say $25 an hour.
Yeah, $20 an hour, which I was like, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so
Would you have to like be on for 40 hours a week? Like,
I don't know. I mean, that's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, at first, I was like, well, the difference being that it's kind of like earlier in the day for Oklahoma. So I was like, that might not be that big a deal, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's not the easy money layup I was looking for. But around education in Oklahoma, Oklahoma's in the news because a student at OU received a failing grade for an essay because she cited the Bible.
That's what the headline says, and I can't find it like a complete.
It looks like it's
thing.
being reported on by Turning Point USA. So
And you can't trust them.
There's
So
that.
all I can see, I have the essay pulled up, and she should have gotten a 0 because it's just meandering, and terrible, and that's what the teacher should have said. But I guess maybe the teacher said it was offensive to minoritized groups of people, and he shouldn't have done that, or she shouldn't have done that. She should have just said, "This is garbage and not university level," because it's like this isn't a well-reasoned argument, and that was the assignment.
yeah, I mean,
And
so it says the psychology course professor, graduate student Mel Kurth, who uses she, they pronouns, failed Faulkney on the grounds that she neglected to address the prompt and relied more on personal ideology than empirical evidence, according to a bombshell thread shared by the university's Turning Point USA chapter. Oh, of course. Oh, you had.
We have a chapter.
Of course. They
yeah,
In the essay, Faulkney
Why must-
repeats ad nauseum that she doesn't take issue with gender stereotypes because that is how God made us. However, she neglected to cite the article she was responding to, save for a vague reference to teasing as a way to enforce gender norms.
here I
She
have
devoted. Oh, you have the essay?
it. Yeah.
Hey, real quick before you start reading it, I just
I'm
want to
not
let
gonna-
you guys know that I hate the term ad nauseum.
Interesting.
Why?
You hear
Oh, it's like utilize.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Um,
I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's very long, but I will. This is how it starts. This article was very thought provoking because it caused me to thoroughly evaluate the idea of gender and the role it plays in our society. The article discussed peers teasing as a way to enforce gender norms, and I don't necessarily see this as a problem. God made male and female, made us differently from each other on purpose and for a purpose. God is very intentional with what he makes, and I believe that trying to change that would only do more harm. Gender roles and tendencies should not be considered stereotypes. Women naturally want to do womanly things because God created us with those womanly desires in our heart. The same goes for men. God created men in the image of his courage and strength, but he created women in the image of his beauty. He intentionally created women differently than men, and we should live our lives with that in mind. It is frustrating to me when I read articles like this and discussion posts from my classmates of so many people trying to conform to the same mundane opinion so they do not step on people's toes. I think that it is cowardly and that is a cowardly and insincere way to live. It is important to use freedom of speech that we have been given in this country, and I personally believe that eliminating gender in our society would be detrimental as it pulls us further from God's original plan for humans. It is perfectly normal for kids to follow gender stereotype because that is how God made us. The reason so many girls want to feel womanly and care for others in a motherly way is not because they feel pressured to fit into the social norm. It is because God created and chose them to reflect his beauty and his compassion in that way. In Genesis, God says that it is not good for a man to be alone. So he created a helper for man, which is woman. Many people assume that the word helper in this context to be condescending and offensive to a woman. However, the original word in Hebrew is ezer kenesto, and that directly translates to helper equal to. Additionally, I do not think men and women are pressured to be more masculine or feminine. I strongly disagree with the idea from this article that encouraging acceptance of diverse gender expressions could improve students' confidence. Society pushing the line that there are multiple genders and everyone should be whatever they want is demonic and severely harms America's youth. Blah blah blah. It's just not the
Yeah.
reason. It's just not a university level essay.
I
And that's
think,
why she
yeah,
could
I
have gotten
think
a
like
0.
boiling things down to like being demonic is like kind of the
Cop
like
out.
the biggest point of it is like, okay, yeah, that's not like you can't cite that in a source because
But
demonic
even
is,
if
like,
you
super
wanted to say that it
subjective.
says that in the Bible, then you should have, like, the Bible is a source in academic writing and language.
Yeah, I
could-
cited the Bible.
You could
often.
cite it, and it should have been.
But
and
yeah,
this
but
woman
where in
is-
the Bible does it say this is
That that's
demonic?
demonic.
It's like it
I'm
doesn't
just saying that you
because
can make that argument. I don't like whether or not it's true or not. You can argue all of your points and make it more academic. And I think she should have got a 0 because it sucks. Because
Yeah.
she's
I
graduate
do wonder
level,
like what's
and
the
that
point? I
was-
guess it's I guess yeah, and I also wonder how they got to be graduate level. Or I'm also curious like what class this is because it sounds like it's like a gender class.
It sounds either like gender or psychology.
Yeah,
And the idea that people who feel this way would go on to be psychologists, I think is harmful.
yeah.
Definitely.
I do wonder like in this great state of Oklahoma why you would go to OU and not like a Christian school.
Because the Christian school, there's also a picture of her. She plays tennis, number one.
Oh, okay.
And so she's like in this really tight tank top and really tight skirt that's really short. And like, I went to Oklahoma Christian for graduate school for a little bit, and they make you do a lot of things. You have to go to chapel. There's a
Yep.
lot of rules about what you do with your own body. There's rules about every class has to be rooted in biblical scripture. So I was taking finance classes, and they had to find a way to root that in biblical scripture. Like, it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. And then like OBU, which is Oklahoma Baptist, past a certain point, girls can't wear shorts. Like, there's a tree on campus. Past that point, you can't wear shorts. So it's very restricted. So again, these people want to do liberal things, but have everybody else conform to their ideology. It's like I saw on TikTok, this guy was like complaining about what women wear to the gym because he struggles with
Yeah.
this, and he's like, I don't want to go. I shouldn't have to go to the gym and struggle with this. And I'm like, that is a you problem, because I can go to the gym and somebody can have their ass out. I'm not like, oh, I just really gotta, you know what I mean? Like that
Or
is-
anything. Like I mean the only thing that bothers me is
Adam
men
Buckham is wild. Word.
is men in there with no shirts on. Like, can you please? It's never a good looking dude either. It's
Yep.
always like, you know,
I'm
disgusting
a
bellies.
non-shirt. I don't conform to your societal pressures of me having to wear a shirt. I
So
get to
you
work out.
don't wear a shirt and when you
I
work
don't.
out
Why not
No.
just wear a
at the
muscle shirt
gym?
at home and
Take
stuff?
these moves, baby.
Y'all do need your own gym.
I'm being facetious.
Okay. I was like, you should have a gym. Cause gross.
I
I
got
mean, there's
dumbbells
this-
at the house if I want to get it in.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've been struggling doing dumbbells outside. You know how I told you, like, oh, it's been great. And then like it got cold and I'm like, oh my God. I'm
The
never doing
problem
it.
is that if I go to the gym, I feel like I mean I might as well work out, right? And if
Yeah.
I go home, man, that bed is just right there. You
It
know what I
is.
mean?
Or just anything really. I mean, I'm in the state of so let's finish with the OU girl because I was
Sorry.
gonna say that that reminds me of Landman because
Oh, that's an interesting segue. Expound.
his daughter is applying to go to TCU.
Go Bullfrogs.
Yeah. And I don't know why they had to make her so dumb. Like, I think her mom is not dumb. She's just like,
brat?
you know, yeah, trying to use her feminine whatever to like get what she wants or whatever. But like to make the daughter, I don't know, just like I
You don't
wonder
feel like
what
that's a fair representation of a young lady who was born into like that
you think
mentality?
so?
I
Okay.
think that if your mom is someone who came up out the dirt, right, and she had to use her feminine walls to do that, I don't know unless she intentionally said this is what you got to do and this is why, and like you got to fucking hustle. I think that kids that don't have to hustle when their parents hustle, like, and they're
Old
almost,
money.
yeah, they're almost worse than old money because old money understands what it is, but like that new money, they think that that's just the way the world operates, and then they are a lot softer than their parents. You know what I mean? And then if they learned what ruthless things their parents would do, it's like AJ and Meadow. Like if they learned what the ruthless things that their parents were doing, to make a comfortable life, they'd be like, "You can't do that. That's wrong."
That's a Sopranos reference. Yeah.
Yeah, deep cut. You guys are laughing smart today.
Okay, well maybe. I guess I was like, what's the benefit of her being like this stupid? And for the story context.
I think she's just a B or C storyline, and maybe if it runs long enough, they'll focus on her.
Isn't
But
it a
it's
Tyler
structure, she's
Sheridan
comic
show?
relief.
Is yeah.
He does that. He doesn't know how to write.
I've never
Right,
watched
somebody
it, but I
love it.
thought in Yellowstone the redhead chick was a badass. Everybody loves her.
Oh yeah.
She's really reckless though.
Well, that doesn't make her stupid. That makes her impulsive. And
Yes.
so was Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon, and we all loved him. We
That's
were
fair.
really sad to hear that he was a racist. And a
But this is
anti-Semite.
him writing a young girl, and I don't know.
Were you not sad?
Me?
Yeah.
I wasn't
You-
a Lethal Weapon fan.
Not even Lethal Weapon 4, Joe Pesci, Chris Rock.
You know what's funny to me about Lethal Weapon is I'm pretty sure Danny Glover, who was running around saying I'm too old for this shit and about to retire, was like 45. And now that I'm running up on that, oh, I get it, but also, bro, you weren't that old.
I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. And I don't like how in the 90s 40 was considered like
yeah, like all the
retirement.
girls on like the Golden Girls are like in their like
50s.
40s and 50s, and you're like,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
That ain't right. That ain't
Maybe
Maybe
that's
that's
why
why
when
we
we-
all feel. I feel so weird because I'm like, I thought I would feel a lot older. And yes, if I sleep a certain way, I wake up and my back hurts for 14 days. But
Yeah, the
I'm
older
not-
I anticipated was like knowing what to do with my life, not just physical pain. Like when I slipped outside because I was trying to do my laundry in the rain, and then I fell, and then it hurt for 3 days. Like that wasn't the old.
Who knew doing laundry in the rain was hazardous?
I was
to
like, God
oneself?
damn it!
That's funny because Holly was like, let's go ice skating. I was like, bro, we have house payment.
Yeah,
Like,
somebody.
I can't afford.
I want to say that one of my friends told me that her son, like, had to have his finger reattached from ice skating.
Bro, that went left. What the fuck? Who was not prepared for that at all?
like it got cut off from this.
Yeah, Dree,
Yeah.
that thing got severed, bro. Stop doing that.
He fell and it broke. Or it got
Somebody hit it with a skate, bro.
No,
What?
somebody hit it with a skate.
Stop, Dree.
Because, yeah, like regular skating, probably if they run over it, it would just be broke. But like ice skating.
Stop. I get it.
Yeah,
The
so
visual in
okay,
my
so every
brain.
time somebody's like, let's go ice skating, that's what
That's the thing.
I'm like.
You have PTSD from that. Like,
I know, like, but I wasn't even there. That's what's crazy. Is like she just told me about it, and I was like,
could you imagine how horrific that was for everybody at the
and
ice
I'm
rink?
sure for her, because what
But
happened
have
was
you
I
guys-
invited her. It's so romantic. Like the thought of ice skating is romantic. Like,
For sure.
because I was in Oklahoma that time when I came, like with the kids and with Simeon, and I was inviting like people to go to different things, and I was like, let's go to ice skating. So I invited her, and she was like, yeah, let me tell you about this time. And then I was like, let's take that off the table.
Let's
You
go
guys
on and
noticed
play
that
Uno instead.
that lucky player died like last year during the
No.
game.
He got his throat slit.
Yeah, like he fell and somebody. I don't. I
The
don't.
thing
I
is
don't
that
want
the ice is
to
constantly sharpening these blades.
Yeah.
Somebody. A lot of people are saying like it was
That's like Final
intentional. The guy was
Destination.
like fouling him and then accidentally cut his throat, but he bled out on the ice in front of the entire arena.
The thing is that blood is so hard to clean out of ice.
Well, I imagine you just have to melt the whole thing, right?
It's also very traumatic to watch somebody die when you were just trying to watch a movie game.
Wait. So do they just like melt it and redo it all the time? Is it like filling a pool?
No, because they
Now-
use the Zamboni.
Depends on where they're at. Like some places have to share the arena, and then yes, they melt it and redo it. And then other places they don't have to share the arena, and then they just do the
They
Zamboni.
should give that water to the fucking AI machines. I'm just kidding.
So do they flood the arena?
That's what it sounds
Basically.
like.
How do you know so much
Interesting.
about hockey?
How do I know that?
You know how she knows.
That
Reads everything. Okay, well anyway, so yeah, those are that was a mess. So but yeah, like in the comments, of course, people are like, no wonder Oklahoma is 50th in the nation.
I know, and that's like
education,
our
and I was
good
like-
school. It's not even our fucking country school. That's Oklahoma State, where everybody has a mullet. And I also went there, so I can say
No.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, do we know if she was born in Oklahoma?
She's
I
probably
mean-
from Texas.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
right.
that
Making us
probably
look bad.
tracks. She probably
Yes.
is from Texas. There's
So many
so
kids
many
come from
Texas
Texas.
people
Right. What the
to
fuck?
go to OU.
Because it's cheaper to go to OU out of state than it is to go to Texas U in state. Probably because we have the income taxes.
which is a whole other thing. While I was there, I always am amazed by like the things that are on the news, but while I was there, it's like someone had introduced the bill to like eliminate your property taxes. And I was like, oh, brother. And they were like, well, schools could learn to fund themselves. I was like, how do you vote for Trump, who's like depleting the Department of Education?
That's why
Because-
it's depleted.
Right. But then it's like, but then turn around and be like, and I would like to withdraw other funding from schools.
Fuck them
Like-
kids. That
But-
should be the state motto.
What's also interesting to me is like, you know how like there's a lot of tax credits and all this stuff for to try to drive businesses to Oklahoma. But then someone was making a good point that like there are a lot of businesses don't want to move to Oklahoma because of the ranking.
Yeah.
The education
Because-
ranking.
Nobody's gonna move here to work for them that is smart and innovative because they don't want their fucking kids to be dumb.
Yeah.
Just make all the jobs remote. Be fine.
But
Oh,
but
yeah,
we're also
based.
we're also so fucking conservative that we're like everybody needs to be in the office all the time.
That's true too. But then like if you are in Oklahoma, like let's say you based in Oklahoma, but you hire in California, you have to abide by California's laws. So then it wouldn't necessarily be that beneficial for you. Because you'd be like, oh, I have to pay this bitch $20 an hour.
Right.
I just want to pay her 11. Yeah,
It's
I don't know. I
cold,
mean,
bro.
yeah, hopefully everybody figures it out before we become different nations.
I don't think that would ever happen.
Yeah, I know. I'm just wishful thinking.
I do.
Gilead.
I do wish that California and New York would succeed, just because I think it would be funny for all the red states to have to admit.
I wish that they would actually stop sending in their federal taxes. You know how like Governor Newsom keeps threatening that? I'm like, just do it. Let's see.
Hey, what's going on with the National Guard and ICE? Like that story ran hot for about a month, and like I haven't heard of it.
They're
Like,
still there. Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah.
ICE, I think like they're like they're still like doing their like raids or whatever, and then like just going around and being complete assholes. But there's all these lawsuits that are pending where, like, in California, they're trying to unmask them. They're trying to, like, make sure they can't go to private properties. So there's all those things that is, like, in court and, like, wranglings and all that stuff. But, like, they're still around being terrorists.
Interesting.
And then
The
someone
news
in the
cycle
National
is
Guard. Yeah. I mean, I guess because they're like, well, they're there, I think that that's part of the point too, right? Is like eventually it's like, okay, we're just used to
just
the troops,
normalization of
yeah,
it.
just being around. But I think that was the point for Senator Kelly and all those other folks to say, like, you shouldn't just do what Hegseth says to do because you have a duty to disobey unlawful orders. And now Hegseth is trying to investigate, well, call Kelly back to active duty so that he can court-martial him.
Yeah, but Hicks himself is also being investigated because we're pretty sure that the drug boats that were bombed off of the coast of Venezuela were, number one, probably
Civilian.
just and then number
Yeah.
two, we did not offer them quarter, so we murdered people.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
broke
I
the
honestly
rules
just
of war.
hope
From
that at least
drone
after
strikes.
this time they really do go forward and like prosecute motherfuckers because like they just are out here violating the law.
Committing war crime.
Yeah, and so I think that what Trump and them are hoping for is that like once they get to the point where they're like, again taking over and doing militias, that all the National Guard people will just, do their bidding and make sure like people aren't successful in any rebellions. I was like, but I don't feel like you've watched enough like hero movies where eventually people will become aware that they're fighting their friends and family and go, no, I don't want to do that. So
Yeah, what is the actual point of this?
yeah, I don't know. It's sad. I'm sad.
That's
It's
one
all
word
so
for it.
crazy. A lot of people are like, if you would know what you have done in World War II by what you're doing right now. And I was literally just thinking about this when you were talking. I'm like, do they think that people didn't just go to work during war? Like, this is
I
what was
mean,
happening.
there's a girl on Lillian's soccer team that is in Israel right now, like went for Thanksgiving. And so like people just still travel. I was like, huh, interesting. Like people still just travel to Israel. And it is what it is. I mean, I know obviously Israel is privileged in that whole conflict, but like I would think that I wouldn't go there, but like, it hasn't, like, I guess it's way bigger than we give it credit for. And like whatever parts are like that might be bombed, like they have no concern
Right.
that they're going to be
It's like
bombed.
a tornado.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah. I mean, it's like
It's
when
been
there's
eating.
when
There's no problem.
there was mudslides here and people were calling like, oh my god, you okay? And I was like, yeah,
It's a balmy 70 degrees, man. I'm drinking matcha.
yeah.
But also, like, when I was there and there were fires and they were like far away, but everything smelled like smoke and it was awful.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, it's crazy. But then, like, so some things were impacted, but other things were. And it was like, what do you do? Like, what
Do you think it would be the same for an alien invasion?
I fully expect that if aliens invaded, then my boss would be like, okay, but we need this report.
Yeah. So great.
It's not a half day or anything.
Yeah. If
You're
you're
like,
not
we
like
really have
taken
to turn
over
this
by
into this
Thursday.
No, we're in an audit right now. And I understand that that's concerning, but until we know more, let's just focus.
Let's just act as if.
But it's kind of like, yeah, like the company I worked for during the fires, like didn't cancel anything. And then eventually someone was like, yo, people are having to evacuate their homes and might not have homes. And like, there's a lot of shit going on right now. Could we not?
And they were like,
oh,
is that you? We'll get back to
Oh.
work, motherfucker.
we have people affected? I'm like, yeah, you do. And then they finally sent out stuff and was like, oh, by the way, it was just
Okay.
weird.
Here's the new workstation for your hotel.
Yeah, they were like, oh, Should like cancel stuff? Or like one time last year, or maybe it was last year, there was a tsunami warning and no one said anything. And I was in San Francisco, and a board member just decided not to come. And then we're like, "Oh, why did she say she's not coming?" They're like, "There's a tsunami warning." I was like,
Oh, and I
Really?
just flew over the ocean. That's fine. That's fun.
Interesting. Yeah.
No,
"Cool, that's cool."
no big deal.
And we're on this pier.
Is
This is great.
California still in threat of like breaking off?
I don't know. Wouldn't that be great?
No,
If
I've
you
heard
became
that's
an
calmed
island?
down. No,
Yeah,
I've
I don't
heard
think
that-
I'm on the fault line.
I've heard that that's been degraded. They don't think that's gonna happen.
Are the polar ice caps still melting? Do
Yeah.
those exist?
Yeah, those are still
Yeah,
melting.
Is greenhouse gas still a concern?
not
I
the
don't know.
CFCs, but in general, yes.
Is that because the CFC is now ran by this current administration?
No, listen, we were making headway, and this administration was like, but businesses can't do what they want. So they're rolling shit back. Like, for instance, I didn't know this about Boar's Head, but they had gotten in trouble in the Boar's Head is like it's a
Meat processing company.
Like, if you go to the deli counter, that most of that is usually Boar's Head. So it's quote unquote like a
Especially
higher
at Sprout. Yeah.
premium, right? And so they got in trouble, and like somebody was reading the report, and they were like, "Yeah, the meat buildup on the walls is too thick." And I was like, first of all, there's a acceptable thickness for meat product on the wall. You don't have
Yeah,
to
the
clean that
jumbo
up
baby.
every night, because when I worked at a restaurant, we had to clean the walls every night, or at least monthly.
That's a wild jump from daily
Yeah.
to monthly.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't think about weekly?
I mean, I'm saying like maybe weekly or at least monthly. At the very least, I think I was at a restaurant and they did it once. But it was
You
like,
just get greasier for that?
yeah, because you have to pull out the oven and do the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's a thing.
Yeah.
And
I feel like when we worked in the kitchen, right? We had to do that every night, right? Clean
Yeah,
it.
Hooters?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, grease traps. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
so anyway, so Boar's Head has like killed people and shit recently. And
Because
It's
of
just
meat
gross.
poisoning?
yeah, because they rolled back a bunch of requirements for FDA. And I was watching
Have
somebody.
you seen the videos of like people
It's so
getting like
gross.
steaks from Longhorn and like there's just abscesses in the shit?
Yeah. Yes.
Fucking disgusting.
I think that if I could eat meat, that would make me not eat meat anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's at my to like cut into something and like it's fuck.
So you didn't get grossed out by the severed finger, but now
I'm not traumatized thinking about the severed finger, but I don't eat fingers, and so it wasn't as gross as hearing about the meat buildup on the wall of the plant that's making people sick.
you know cannibals really seem to love eating people. Like they enjoy it. There's no going back.
You know, there's this movie, and I thought that it was just like some stupid, like, indie movie about love. And so I didn't watch it because I was like, I was just going to be like intense, crying, and over dramatic. And then I was scrolling TikTok, and people were like, have you seen this shit? Like, what the fuck did I just watch? And I was like, okay, what happens in that movie? So then I went and looked it up. It's first Timothy Chalamet. And I forget who else is in the movie. I want to say it's Taylor Russell, and she's like, I don't know. She's in something else, and so people were like, so I watched this movie because I thought it was going to be a love story. It is literally about cannibals. Like, there are these people that have this condition, and they call them eaters, and that's what the movie is called Bones. So they just meant I love you, bones and all. But it's like, I'll eat you, bones and all. And then they do that in the movie, and it's like, graphic. And I'm like, you should. It's a lot. And I think it says a love story at the bottom, and I'm like, I don't think I could have taken it if I was like, they're gonna cry a lot, but no, they're just eating people. And
There's a movie
No.
like that on Hulu. It's this little black girl, and like her dad like gives her money and puts her on the bus because she can't stop.
that's
like,
the same
people.
movie.
That's the movie? Okay. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were
It was
marketing
interesting.
it as a love story with Timothy.
I mean, it was a love story. There's also some pedophilia in there too, because there's this
Excuse
old guy. Yeah, there's this old guy who's like really old. He's like, I can smell you. And like
Oh,
follows her around.
gross.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, just talking about unsanitary meat reminded me of a restaurant in San Francisco was recently in trouble because someone from their apartment window was looking over the restaurant worker, and he had taken out like these frozen ribs and laid down cardboard and was just slamming it down to like try to break up the meat. And they're like, oh, that person has been, fired since then. And people were like, the manager absolutely told him to do that. Like, there's no way.
100.
And he's not
Yeah.
really been fired. He just works in the back now. Get the
Yeah,
cut
they're
down.
like, Johnny, next time get a tent. Not good enough to just look around.
You made too much noise.
Yeah. It's
Somebody
a
was like,
mess.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, like, the whole thing about food preparation. I mean, my kid is trying to do a cafe with their friends, and they have to do the food safety course.
For
And I
Who
was
they
just
have to
thinking,
sell to?
other kids probably.
Kids don't have money.
They do. Remember when you used to do all those fundraisers, and it'd be like a fucking poor school, and they'd be like Dollar Jeans Day, and they'd raise all that money, just like pimping their kids. I mean, not pimping them, but kind of. Anyway, yeah, so they're doing a cafe, and so they're doing their food safety courses, and I was like, oh yeah, like, I don't know, it would be good for them to really learn about that. But
Cross-contamination.
there's another friend I have on TikTok who's a chef, and she saw someone discussing warming up their turkey in the dishwasher. I don't know why.
This is why I don't eat at the potluck.
I don't understand why. Like, people just are like, oh, that's hot. I'm just gonna
it's
put it
not.
in
It's
there.
nowhere near hot enough.
I mean,
don't
it
know.
gets up to,
yeah,
like,
and that's
500
what
degrees
Morgan's
today.
point was like, that doesn't even get the internal temperature that you need. But yeah, I don't know. It's really,
And
I don't know,
humidity
like,
sucks, bro.
yeah, and you think about like all the things you have to say explicitly because people will make assumptions about, like, if you just say, hey, go warm this up, you have to say, like, go warm this up in the microwave and make sure you do it to this or whatever. Like, you can't just say things to people. You have to, like, it be explicit. And
I mean, there was
is,
once
like,
upon a time where people were eating Tide Pods.
that's true. Our Nicholas had reposted this man was using the air fryer with grease, like, and he was like, chicken wings are taking a long time, and they were like, oh, sir, what the fuck.
Just gonna set your whole
anyway.
house.
Yeah,
Not
like,
only does it defeat the purpose, but yes, you're also gotta start a grease fire.
and he had it on the floor and on carpet, and he was like, I
It
don't know
gets
what you guys
better.
are talking about. This takes so long, and people were like, bro, well, thanks for sharing, and also please consult the
Is it
fucking
Republican
manual.
of me that I wish Darwinism was still a thing?
No, I don't think.
I don't
that's...
think so. I think that they have like a whole other piece to that because they don't want to admit that they are the dumb ones.
Mm.
Just like the guy that was on this week that was like, when I see liberal men, I just think they're not real men. And they were like, babe, do you like men? You're like, you are calling from inside the closet, but yeah. So yeah, anyway, it's what a world.
What a word.
Yeah, I know we're probably nearing the end. So are you watching or reading anything that you would like to discuss?
Landman. Welcome to Derry. No, I have
Mhm.
to watch the episodes tonight after I finish work. And then still reading it. I got to chapter 17, which is Patrick Hockstetter's chapter. And do you know about Patrick Hockstetter?
He's possessed.
He thinks he's the only real person in the world. And so he killed his baby brother.
Mm.
and
Stevie
he's not really
prescribed that.
possessed. He was already had mental illness. Like that is
Yeah, he was
that,
fucked up.
like people think that have mental illness is that they're the only real person. And
What does
that's
that
it.
look like?
But that I mean that is actual psychosis.
It's such a foreign concept to me, though.
Have you never felt like maybe you were in a coma?
No.
Never had that feeling that maybe you're in
Sleep
a coma?
paralysis is probably the closest I've ever got.
Like sometimes it's occurred to me that maybe this is a dream and I'm in a coma somewhere and everybody's
I mean, Life of Chuck, right? Like,
yeah.
or Men in Black, where your galaxy
So then
is
just
in
extrapolate that. Like that's just like everything's on a spectrum. So people that have mental illness have thoughts that you have. It's just extreme. You know.
How can you be so narcissistic?
It's not
to
like
attempt-
it's his the wiring doesn't wire. He can't think about anything else any other way. It's not narcissism.
You know, it's fucked up because I have mental illness, but like in that case, like my first thought was that person should be murdered.
Yeah. I mean that makes sense because it's like he I think we are social animals, and as social animals, we would want to get rid of the threat to the social group, right?
To the
So it kind
herd,
of makes
yeah.
sense that people feel that way.
Okay,
It's
what about you?
dangerous. Me? I need to catch
Mhm.
up on it, and
What episode are you on?
I didn't watch last week, and I haven't watched this week, so
Okay.
goodbye. And I have been reading romance book, like old ones.
Like
Again,
smut?
No. But it
Well,
was historical romance, so I've just been trying to
ugh.
I'm just trying to figure something out.
Hate
about the way
period,
they're
piece of-
constructed. I know, they're terrible. So anyway, so I've been reading that and that's it.
Does it make you want to vomit?
It's so interesting because they have to be so careful. It's an interesting
Are you reading
that-
Pride and Prejudice?
No, I should though. I think that I will. It is so interesting. Again, it's really interesting to read stuff that was written in the 90s, number one, and then to read something that was written in the 90s about an earlier time is two. Like, there's this one book, and it's out of print. And when people are like, well, why is it out of print? And you look at who it is, because this woman,
was
Lisa
racist.
Kleypas, is like really big in the genre, and she will not release this book. Just like Stephen King won't release Rage. Have you ever heard about that? He wrote it with Richard
No.
Faulkner, which is the same pen name that he wrote Running Man under, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
And this was before school shootings. And he wrote this book where this kid is so angry about something that he goes and he holds his class hostage with a gun. And there was just such an outrageous idea when he wrote that in the 70s. And now it happens all the time. So it's out of print. Well, she wrote this.
Oh, so this came out. People
Yeah.
read it and then they pulled it.
Well, no, yeah, he wrote it in the 70s, and then Columbine happened in 2001, and then he was like, absolutely not. Like, now that this is a thing, like, I don't want anybody to read this and then say that book made them
They
do
were
it.
inspired.
So it's been
Yeah.
it's been out of print for 20 years. Anyway, so this woman had to pull his book because of some shit that happened, and when you read why it was, I'm like, why the fuck would you ever write that? Let alone it got published and then people bought it. And like
Context, bro.
people still want it, and it goes for like $125 a pop because it's out of print and you can't get it anymore.
What was it about?
I don't even want to say it was bad. So anyway,
That makes me
that's it.
intrigued.
Go. What are you watching, Dan?
I'm watching Landman. Like, I guess if there's anything that I'm like watching that is actually exciting, I don't really know that I have anything like that right now. I like Elsbeth, but it seems like they took a week off for Thanksgiving. But yeah, I am watching Landman, but like I
Disappointed.
said earlier, I'm not disappointed. He's just annoying. But I think I feel like, did Taylor, what's his name, do Tulsa King? Or is that someone
Yes.
else entirely?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
did
think
he
Samuel
also-
Jackson is in Tulsa King?
I stopped watching it. That's why I'm thinking like,
Oh, I
well,
haven't
maybe
watched it. He
eventually.
was on a commercial.
Oh, okay. I was like, maybe I have to stop watching Landman too, but because it's like it starts off where it's like, okay, yeah, I kind of like it, and then I don't like it. Like I
Yeah,
also wonder, did he do? It's like this sheriff show where the woman's a sheriff, and that one's pretty terrible too so far.
County or whatever the fuck.
No, Fire County. I don't like that. Oh, but it is a crossover.
Mm-hmm.
So is Fire County by him too?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So anyway, it's just very like, I mean, I like Watson so far with Morris Chestnut.
Isn't Morris Chestnut also doing the Doctor show?
That is the Doctor show.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's called
Cool.
Watson. And then
So
was
is it a
also-
Sherlock Holmes reference, or
yeah.
where's Sherlock Holmes coming to this?
Well, I mean, he's the benefactor. Like Watson works at the Holmes Clinic and they get to take on interesting cases that further Watson's research.
Is Holmes dead or some shit?
Kinda.
How could one kind of be dead?
I don't know. It's a big spoiler. Like supposedly he's dead. And that's the first like season or two.
I
And
thought Lucy
and
Liu was his Sherlock Holmes.
No, this is a
No,
different
this is a different
reiteration
thing.
of, yeah, you know how like, yeah, because the other one was just straight up Sherlock Holmes with, I don't remember what that guy's name is, but he played a great Sherlock Holmes. Anyway, it's just, everybody's
Guy
it's
from
just a
Hacker.
different. Yeah, what was his name? I really liked that one. But yeah, and then in that show, Moriarty was a woman. And
Who is
this one,
Moriarty?
the like arch nemesis person trying to take down Holmes and Watson.
I'm not deep in the Holmes lore. Okay.
Well, you need
Yeah,
to
like it's just a bunch of different like iterations. So, but yeah,
the
it's just
lore is that there's Sherlock Holmes, right? And he's a detective and he does drugs. And he has
correct.
a buddy named Watson, and Watson is a medical doctor, and they would solve crimes. And they pissed off this person named Moriarty. Well, Sherlock Holmes, because he is arrogant, he does drugs, and he solves crimes, so he pisses people off. And Moriarty is his arch nemesis, who's always doing crimes, and he's like, "I'll get you, Sherlock."
yeah,
Right.
he's like the nemesis.
So Batman and the Joker is what. I'm
Yes.
understanding.
And you
Yeah,
have to
I'm
remember,
trying-
like, all of this classic literature was published as penny dreadfuls and serials. So they were published.
Penny
as
Dreadful is a
following-
genre of literature?
Yeah,
I thought it was a TV show.
that's why it was called
It
that.
is,
Because it
yeah.
was a genre. So they would publish them in magazines because, and there's TV.
Isn't that Pulp Fiction?
Pulp Fiction is something different. Pulp Fiction is, they call it that because of the paper.
Because of the paper.
Right. So Pulp Fiction was printed on cheap paper, and it was cheap stories that were printed quickly. So they're kind of the same thing, but not,
Hmm.
So like we would have mass paperbacks or Harley Quinns or Harley Quinn short today.
Harley Quinn is also a genre?
Yeah, Harley Quinn is an imprint, but it is also a genre. They do romance, but they focus on body strippers and a team, smut. So like when I worked at the
Wait, so why is she named Harley Quinn? Is she supposed to be a little smutty?
no, probably yeah, that's probably why. But it's also a pattern. The pattern that Harley Quinn in the cartoon wears with the
With the
jumpsuit
diamonds?
shoes, like the that they will wear in like the court or whatever. That pattern is called Harley Quinn.
I thought that was called Chevron.
No, Chevron is something different. Anyway, so what was I saying?
What a quagmire.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. So they would just print like these cheap stories. So Sherlock Holmes was a serial, so it was just like they would wait for it to come out every Sunday or whatever, and then they would go and read it. So over the knowing that it was serialized over the course of that time, he had to have arch nemesis, and that was Moriarty.
Is he Italian?
Probably because of the time, Italians weren't read kind of dark. So that's probably played into it, yeah.
Very interesting last 5 minutes.
Yeah. So
Very educational. You got a
That's
big
why-
brain on you.
The big
She
brain
does.
on Brad. Well,
Yeah.
say something once again, one more time. Say, oh my God, one more time.
Say what one more time, motherfucker?
Yeah.
I dare you. I double dare you.
What is that from?
Pulp
Pulp
Fiction.
Fiction.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right. Well, this has been another edition of It's Fine, Sweetie.
All right. I love you.
I
Love
you
ya.
too. Talk to you later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the It's Fine, Sweetie podcast.